watching AYV Television.
From a broadcasting house on Wesley Street in Sierra Leone's capital, Freetown, this is Primetime News on AYV TV and video. You're watching us on Channel 33 and listening to us on frequency modulation 11.7 and on DSTV Channel 399. I am Edima Conte. Let's start with tonight's headlines. The United States Senate Committee on Foreign Relations nominates Daniel Travis to serve as the next United States Ambassador to Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone and the People's Republic of China marks 55 years of diplomatic relations.
Countries share long-standing multifaceted relationship rooted in cooperation and solidarity.
Agricultural Value Chain Development Project trains nearly 200 agricultural trainers in the eastern region on power tiller operation.
Tiller they are not purely for the swamp work, not for build boat, not for build pamine, not for build sansan, and not for that day.
Hello and welcome from wherever you're joining me tonight. I am Edima Conte for Stuni News. The United States Senate Committee on Foreign Relations has approved the nomination of veteran diplomat Daniel Travis to serve as the next United States Ambassador to Sierra Leone, clearing the way for his appointment. A career member of the Senior Foreign Service with more than 25 years of diplomatic experience, Travis currently heads the Office of Commercial and Economic Affairs in the U.S. State's Department Bureau of African Affairs, where he oversees trade and economic policy across the continent. He has previously served in senior diplomatic postings in the Republic of Congo, Kenya, Uganda, Ghana, Hungary, and Poland, with expertise spanning public diplomacy, trade, national security, and consular affairs. He formally confirmed Travis will succeed Brian Hunt as U.S. Ambassador to Sierra Leone and become the first ambassador to the country nominated by President Donald Trump during his current administration. Travis holds a master's degree in national security and strategic studies from the U.S. National War College and is fluent in French and Polish. His appointment is expected to further strengthen diplomatic, economic, and security cooperation between Sierra Leone and the United States. Well, away from that, the 44th session of the ECOWAS Mediation and Security Council at ambassadorial level has concluded in Freetown, with delegates assessing the region's evolving political, security and humanitarian challenges. Closing the meeting, ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, Ambassador Abdel Fattah Musa, says West Africa is making gradual progress in democratic governance, but warned that sustaining peace and stability will require continued regional cooperation and political commitment. Here is the highlight.
Over the last 2 days, our Mediation and Security Council at the ambassadorial level held their 44th session, leading to the summit, the ECOWAS summit of the Authority of Heads of State that will take place on the 19th of July. There were very important issues discussed at this meeting. First and foremost is about the incremental improvement, that the region is noticing in terms of political governance in the country, the willingness and efforts of our member states to continue engaging in dialogue with all stakeholders so that the regional integration process, both at the regional level and in the member states, are inclusive of all citizens of our country. That is on the one hand. The members of the Mediation and Security Council also critically examined the evolving security environment in our region, noting in particular the worsening phenomenon of terrorism and violent extremism in our region, and increasingly the phenomena of drug trafficking, human trafficking, that is also defining the security environment of our region.
Now, this year marks 55 years of diplomatic relations between Sierra Leone and the People's Republic of China, a partnership that has grown to include infrastructure, healthcare, education, and trade. According to China's General Administration of Customs, trade between China and Africa reached a record of $295.6 billion United States dollars in 2024, underscoring Beijing's expanding economic ties with the continent. In Freetown, that enduring relationship was celebrated through a cultural gala held as part of the China-Africa Year of People-to-People Exchanges. Here's a report. Music, dance and tradition fill the auditorium as Sierra Leone and China celebrate a friendship that has endured for more than half a century. Since establishing diplomatic relations on 29th July 1971, the two countries have expanded cooperation across infrastructure, health, education and human resource development. Sierra Leone's Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs says the relationship has contributed to national development through major infrastructure projects.
The two countries share a long-standing multifaceted relationship rooted in cooperation and solidarity. Our two countries have collaborated on various fronts, including education, health, agriculture, infrastructure, trade. I can go on and on and on. Please permit me to highlight some of the major achievements of our diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China. The National Stadium, as has been said, the UE Building, the Foreign Service Academy, the Friendship Hospital, recently the 15 VVIP vehicles for the ECOWAS Summit in Freetown. Overall, the partnership between the two countries continues to be mutually beneficial with ongoing projects and collaborations.
China's ambassador to Sierra Leone described the partnership as one founded on mutual respect, shared interest and lasting friendship, saying cultural exchanges remain as important as economic cooperation in bringing the two peoples closer together.
While talking about friendship, there's the ancient Chinese saying going like this: true friends feel close, even when far apart. This is exactly the case of China and her friend Sierra Leone. China and Sierra Leone are far from each other geographically. It takes a whole day traveling from China to Sierra Leone. But we are close, very close, and are getting closer and closer. Over the past 55 years, no matter how the international situation changes, no matter how the domestic situation of our two countries changes, China and Sierra Leone have always respected each other and supported each other. Last year, thanks to China's zero-tariff policy, both the trade volume between China and Sierra Leone and Sierra Leone's export to China set record high. And this year, there's no doubt that we are going to see a new record.
As both nations mark 55 years of diplomatic relations, officials say the next chapter will focus not only on development and investment, but also on strengthening the human connections that have sustained the partnership for generations. Edima Conte, AYV News, Freetown. Well, ahead of the 2026 Population and Housing Census, Statistics Sierra Leone has begun training regional publicity officers to strengthen public awareness and counter misinformation before the nationwide mock census. The exercise follows international census standards promoted by the United Nations Statistical Commission, which emphasize effective public communication as critical to achieving an accurate population count. Yero Jalo reports.
As preparation gathers pace, regional publicity officers from across the country have convened in Freetown for specialized training on communicating the objectives and procedures of the 2026 Population and Housing Mock Census. The session covers census mapping, data confidentiality, media engagement, crisis communication, and strategies for tackling rumors and misinformation.
But again, you are our mouthpieces. You are the people who should propagate the census messages for us. We depend on you to meet those diverse stakeholders and giving them the exact information that they require. So you could not do that. It would be unfair on your part for us to just send you to the field like we've been doing, to just say go and communicate or go and talk to the people out there. We want to make sure this time around we'll bring you here for a one-day training exercise where you can be trained, where you can be taken through all of the concepts, all of the messaging, the relevant messaging that are akin to the census process. So once you're trained sufficiently what to do in those conditions, we're now sure that you'll be able to go to the field and interact with those people and tell them the message that is required.
Officials say regional publicity officers will serve as the public face of the census, helping communities understand why every household must be counted and why accurate information matters for national planning.
Other divisions or collaborate with other divisions that started to conceptualize the census methodology. Census involves a lot of technical inputs.
Development partners, including UNFPA and the Ministry of Information and Civic Education, reaffirmed their support, stressing that public trust, clear communication are essential to delivering a credible census.
As a ministry, we are committed to working with our colleagues at Statistics Sierra Leone to ensure that we keep hammering home the importance of the census and ensure that people see it as a civic responsibility to welcome, encourage, and work together with the enumerators that will be in the field, and also ensure that we get our credible data as well. And that data, as everybody has as well as alluded to, is going to be incredibly important for our national development as a country.
It's a specific role of the UNFPA. UNFPA plays key roles in the implementation of this census, as I said, not just in Sierra Leone, but globally. Specifically, UNFPA provides technical assistance, also provide financial assistance, and even logistical support.
Statistics Sierra Leone says the mock census will test systems and identify operational gaps before the national enumeration, helping ensure the country produces reliable population data to guide policy and investment for years to come. At a time when there is deep distrust between the incumbents and the opposition parties, experts say transparency in this exercise is non-negotiable. Yero Jalo, AYV News Freetown.
Sierra Leone's push to increase domestic food production is gaining velocity, with agricultural mechanization at the center of the government's Feed Salon agenda. The Agricultural Value Chain Development Project has trained nearly 200 agricultural trainers in the eastern region on power tiller operation, with the aim of helping smallholder farmers improve rice production and reduce dependence on manual labor. Sam Halfalahai reports from Kenema.
The sound of power tillers in
The
operation.
Senate Committee on Foreign Relations has approved the nomination of veteran diplomat Daniel Travis to serve as the next United States ambassador to Sierra Leone, clearing the way for his appointment. A career member of the senior foreign service with more than 25 years of diplomatic experience, Travis currently...
When they train me in a classroom, then after that I don't come out na the physical side, na the swamp and the dry land. I'm really happy where I don't can get this experience here today, but this power tiller for operator and a swamp under ABP.
Well, the swamp oko we do, now all we the turn swampos. Like this one now, from yesterday and today, from the dry land to the classroom, the engineer there, and it's really try for me. Because like one for start time, for corporal palm, and not be ever study. And the first time this, and say I don't can at the swamp, I don't begin for operator time. I really appreciate ABBP. I tell you, Boku, thank you.
The initiative forms part of the Agricultural Value Chain Development Project's effort to expand mechanized farming, improving productivity and strengthening the country's agricultural value chains. According to the World Bank's 2025 Agriculture Sector Updates, improving access to technology and productivity-enhancing tools remains critical for transforming smallholder farming systems in developing economies.
The power tiller they are not purely for the swamp work, not to for build boat, not to for build palm, not to for build sansan, and not for that day. But purely there for the swamp there, where AVDP and the Ministry of Agriculture don't develop in their community there, and not for no other purpose.
Beyond mechanization, the project is also supporting rice milling and cassava processing facilities to reduce post-harvest losses and increase the value of locally produced food.
Each and every one of those that came for the training had the opportunity to work with the power tiller. We are using the power tiller to actually ease drudgery of work because when you use power tiller, we are 10 or 50 man work 2-3 days. That's just maybe an hour for the power tiller.
Agriculture remains a major source of livelihood in Sierra Leone, with Statistics Sierra Leone integrated household survey data showing that farming continues to support a significant share of rural households. Officials say building technical capacity among farmers and trainers will be essential to achieving the feed salon goal of increasing food production and strengthening food security. Samar Falai, AOI News, Kenema, Eastern Sierra Leone.
This is Primetime News on AYV Television and Radio. Stay tuned for more stories after the break.
Across Sierra Leone, more people are asking the same question. Why buy fuel anywhere else when Cornex gives you more? Professionally trained attendants who know service matters. Cornex fuel, a litre is a litre, every single time. And when it's time to pay, easy. Pay with mobile money, Visa or MasterCard, or the Cornex fuel card. Clean restrooms, welcoming spaces. Every station, every time. Clean fuel, clean spaces, clear value. That's why Sierra Leone fuels with Cornex. Cornex retail outlets. Always clean, always professional, always for you. Fuel smart.
Visit any of our Cornex stations nationwide for your quality fuel and lubricants today.
Welcome back. I am Edima Conte and this is AOIV's Primetime News. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let's take more stories. Parliament has ratified the amendment agreement to the power purchase agreement relating to the 120 megawatt by Congo hydroelectric power project. However, before passage, MPs, including the opposition leader, raised a red flag about the content of the agreement, pointing that it has 4 out of 9 schedules missing. change of name of investors, broader investor protection, unexplained waivers and high tariffs. Banking on these concerns, opposition leader Honorable Abdul Kagbo raised a motion for it to be put on hold for proper scrutiny. In a split second, the said MP, after a closed-door meeting in the Speaker's chambers, revoked the motion, allowing proceedings to flow without addressing the queries made. Samuel Tunisoya was there and now reports.
It's another sitting in Parliament. The Speaker takes his seat, members settle in the chambers, and proceedings begin with a matter many hope could reshape Sierra Leone's energy future. The Minister of Energy, Arnold Sale Grant, tables amendment to the power purchase agreement for the Big Congo hydroelectricity project. Government says increasing the project's capacity from 120 to 150 megawatts will strengthen electricity supply and support economic growth.
We are a power deficient country, and we've been a power deficient country for a long time. And one of the renewable and reliable forms of energy that we have in the world, not only in Sierra Leone,
have returned, and with them an old reminder that what is thrown carelessly away often finds its way back through flooded streets. It's against this backdrop that the Freetown City Council and the Sierra Leone Police have renewed their commitments to enforcing
is hydropower, where we use the power of water to generate electricity.
Government MPs throw their support behind the agreement, arguing that expanding electricity generation is essential for industrialization and improving livelihoods.
Currently, we have an energy capacity of 157.12 megawatts. But what actually we would need, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we are not there, but we would be there.
For the whole Kaidown district, my chiefdom, Jalon chiefdom, is the biggest chiefdom. And Mr. Minister, we don't have any light. My people are in complete darkness.
But from the opposition bench comes a different view. MPs question missing schedules in the agreement, changes to the identity of investors, and provision they believe require close legal scrutiny before approval.
Some work needs to be done on this tariff. This is the tariff paid by EPSA, not consumers, Mr. Speaker. That's the distinction we must understand.
It should, by the way, be Schedule 9. In this document, we only have up to 5 schedules, Mr. Speaker, on members. So Schedule 6 is missing, Schedule 7 is missing, Schedule 8 is missing, and Schedule 9 is missing. So it's important for us to note that all of those schedules that are missing here, there are details that should be brought in front of this House so that we can know what is exactly.
Minority Leader Honorable Abdul Kagbo raises further concerns, arguing that Parliament should not ratify an agreement with outstanding questions. He moves that it be committed for detailed examination.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as members of Parliament, we should know why was it considered necessary to amend the original 2023 implementation agreement. I noticed that the project developers decided in this amendment to change their name. Why was the name changed? These are explanations we should ask for. This is a parliament. We should ensure that we protect with the integrity of this country, we protect the integrity of our nation. So on that note, I want to move a motion that this agreement is withheld until we have the complete schedule presented to this House.
Majority Leader Honorable Martin Yuma rejects the proposal, insisting the agreement has undergone due diligence.
For the good of the public, under the Congo 3 hydroelectric power, Okoda and Minerals Limited, they have their address, and this company is formerly known as the Mukoko Resources SL Limited. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we said the agreement I've had for my colleagues just for the sake of clarification. That this agreement is not 28 years, but it's 25 years.
prompting Speaker Sengepo Solomon Thomas to invite parliamentary leaders into his chambers for consultations. When proceedings resume, the atmosphere has changed. In a surprise development, the minority leader withdraws his motion, allowing Parliament to proceed with ratification.
We are also very, very detailed in what we do.
Yes.
We read everything, and the minister personally took time to explain.
Yes.
I want to commend him for that. He took time. But he has answered, and one thing the Speaker has clearly said is that once this agreement passes, this Parliament should ensure we begin to monitor it from day one.
Yes.
So for that, I will go and allow us to
Thank you very much.
The agreement is approved, but questions raised during the debate remain part of public records. Attention now shifts from Parliament to implementation. More than 3 years after the original agreement was ratified, construction is yet to commence. In a separate development, Parliament also swore in Honorable Aissata Phillips, who succeeds the late Honorable Lucinda Finda Kelly. Welcoming the new Member of Parliament, the Speaker urged her to discharge her responsibilities with commitment and integrity.
Speaker and this Honorable House, congratulations. Mr. Speaker.
For many Sierra Leoneans, the success of the Big Congo project will not be judged by parliamentary procedure, but by whether it delivers reliable electricity to homes, schools, and businesses across the country. Samuel Tony Sawyer, AYV News, Freetown.
Every child deserves a safe place to call home. Yet for many in Freetown, childhood is unfolding on pavement, beneath bridges and in abandoned buildings rather than in classrooms and family homes. Now, the 2025 UNICEF Sierra Leone Country Program identifies poverty, family separation and weak child protection systems as continuing threats to children's welfare, while local organizations warn that more vulnerable children are finding themselves on the streets. AOIV's James Amit Kamara examines the human stories behind one of the city's most persistent social challenges.
Children are often seen as symbols of hope, innocence, and promise of a brighter future. They deserve the safety of a loving home, the opportunity to learn, and the freedom to dream. But for many children in Freetown, that promise has been replaced by a daily struggle for survival: homelessness.
For these children, the streets have become both home and workplace. Some beg for food, others wash cars or carry loads, all in search of enough to survive another day. Child protection experts say homelessness is rarely a choice, but the consequence of poverty, neglect, family breakdown, and abuse.
And there are other host factors: single parenting, economic factor, poverty, and the rest. These are all factors that actually sees young people on the streets.
Although Sierra Leone has no up-to-date official count of children living on the streets, a government-backed child protection assessment cited in the country's latest situation analysis of children and adolescents found that about 2,700 children were living permanently on the streets, with the largest concentration in Freetown. Child welfare organizations believe the underlying drivers remain largely unchanged.
Because let's say, for instance, if Abu is now living with his family and the family has a children of 6, and they only get a meal a day, and you provide Abu with a bag of rice, and let's say 1,000 meals. Do you think that 1,000 in a bag of rice will only go in for Abu? No, it will not go for Abu. So sometimes that's why we use a swap analysis to ensure that family of this nature, what best could be done for them to ensure that they're able to keep all their children safe.
Organizations including Don Bosco Fambul and Street Child continue to provide shelter, education, and family reintegration services, working alongside government institutions responsible for child protection. They say lasting progress will depend only on emergency support, but also on tackling the poverty and family vulnerabilities that push children onto the streets.
So the most we're coming closer to these young people to ensure that we get them back to this line. What we do, normally we have a project that I earlier mentioned, that the State Child Project. We go out on the streets 3 times a week, and that's Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, to ensure that we go to catchment areas where these young people do converge and then enjoy themselves or rest, to ensure that we engage them. We provide for the medical assistance, and then also we provide them with food and some other kind of psychosocial supports. Of course, when we talk about challenges and living on the streets, it's really like threatening. And these children can be exposed. They are exposed to so many things, even from drugs, stealing, violence, and the rest of it. And we see the current trend in Freetown, what is happening with children as well as young people. Most of them are into drugs. And they could not take push, they take tramadol, or they smoke cigarette or take alcohol. These are all issues surrounding them and exposing them to danger.
AYV sought responses from the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs and the Ministry of Social Welfare, but neither had commented by the time this report was broadcast. For every child sleeping outside tonight, advocates say the cost is measured not only in lost education and opportunities, but in a future placed increasingly at risk. James Hamid Kamara, AOIV News, Freetown.
In Freetown, where blocked drains and illegal dumping continue to fuel flooding during the rainy season, keeping the capital clean remains a shared responsibility according to the Metropolitan Council. The council says thousands of tons of waste are generated across the city every week. To strengthen enforcement, the Freetown City Council has deepened its partnership with the Sierra Leone Police under the Dirty Must Go campaign, aimed at improving sanitation and tackling indiscriminate waste disposal. AYV's Isa Bangura has the report.
The rains have returned, and with them an old reminder that what is thrown carelessly away often finds its way back through flooded streets. It's against this backdrop that the Freetown City Council and the Sierra Leone Police have renewed their commitment to enforcing sanitation bylaws under the Dirty Must Go campaign. The initiative targets illegal dumping, one of the leading causes of blocked drainage systems, environmental pollution, and preventable public health risks across the capital.
Following the signing of an MOU between Sierra Leone Police and Freetown City Council under the leadership of the Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs, we start with enforcement of the new bylaw. I believe say Famble then go down the year, but Operation Must Go. Operation Dirty Must Go. And that Dirty Must Go now all about the new bylaws. We say everybody, household, business, institution, for be registered with a FCC approved waste service provider. And so today, this process now when I go see, Freetonians go see, we start from move us to us, business to business, institution to institution, for check if Famble then don't register. And if you not register, we encourage you for register. If you don't register, you not pay, we encourage you for pay. Because now that implementation day, now going to make the law in compliance really take hold. And until it take hold, we will still see people then dirty the Richness Street.
Council officials say enforcement alone will not solve the problem. They believe lasting change will depend on residents taking greater responsibility for how they dispose of household waste and protect their communities.
Salon Police and Freetown City Council don't sign memorandum of understanding. For all work together for grab dirty common at this country. The municipality of Freetown, now the mayor and the city council are responsible for every activity where they go on there. For your own business, Salon Police has law enforcement people them, that for law supports them in the work on that they do. So Freetown City Council now they your support with the them. The country dirty. and dirty they compromise with health them. But often I get picking a small picking the one that they left now house. If the place dirty, then they go play, then they get sick. That money when they pay, you not go able to put it into better use. You always a cry and go to hospital. So government and Freetown City Council concerned that we go for work together for prevent them secret the way they can when they become epidemic pandemic in the country.
The Sierra Leone police say they will work closely with council enforcement teams to ensure compliance with sanitation regulations and discourage illegal dumping in public spaces. As the campaign gathers momentum, authorities are urging residents to use approved waste collection points and support efforts to build a cleaner, safer and more resilient Freetown. Because every piece of rubbish removed from a drain is one less threat when the next heavy downpour arrives. Issa Bangura, AYV News, Freetown.
Well, now for sport, I've been joined in the studios by Marie Esther Samoa. Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, Edima, and good evening to our viewers across the world. For a sports update tonight, the Sierra Leone Football Association has launched a nationwide Under-17 Boys Talent Hunt program, kicking off this Monday, 13th July at 1 p.m. at the SLFA Academy, with simultaneous exercise across other 4 regions. Well, the initiative targeted talented young footballers for the FA's Players Development Pathway, as participants must present a valid national ID card or passport for verification. With each region will select 20 outstanding players to advance to the National Under-17 Talent Hunt for further assessment, as the SLFA deepens its investment in youth football development. And quickly, in the Sierra Leone Football Association national playoffs, Waterloo FC and the side of Western United have topped both Group A and Group B, and a win for them in their next match would automatically see them qualifying to the top tier league, which is the Sierra Leone Men's Premier League. Away from that, now on the international stage, Spain are through to the round of 4 in the ongoing FIFA World Cup following a 2-1 win against Belgium. It's going to be a daunting task tomorrow for England as they take on Norway. But that's it for sport updates tonight. Over to you, Edima.
So Esther, before we wrap up, what country are you foreseeing to win this year's 2026 World Cup?
Well, I'll say I'll pledge my bet for France, because tactically, physically, mentally, they are up there. But I must say we've seen also outstanding performance from the Norwegian side. That is Norway. They've put up a brilliant performance so far in this campaign, and one of their players is currently one of the highest goal scorers, one of the goal scorers with 7 goals. That is Haaland. He has scored 7 goals, and they'll be playing against England tomorrow. Notwithstanding England also, they've put up a brilliant performance in this campaign also. So, but when you look at the performances of the countries that are remaining in the World Cup, I must say France, they've been doing tremendously well, getting 100% win so far in this World Cup. Well, they've booked qualification to the semi-finals of this campaign, and now Spain have joined them, having won against Belgium 2-1 today. Tomorrow it's going to be another clash of the Titans between England and that of Norway, and then the final round of 8 will feature Argentina and that of Switzerland, of course. That is the Swiss side on Sunday. So it is very much open, but for me, I would say France seems to be the favorite in terms of performance.
Okay, thank you very much. But then again, may the best man wins. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Esther, for those sports updates. Well, that's all for Primetime News tonight. For more stories, visit our website at www.aybnews.com. If you have any comment on the news, please do send us an email to info@aybnews.com. I am Edima Conte. Many thanks for watching and listening. Have a good night.
You're watching AYV Television.